I tell you, Kojo had a conversation on earthquakes, decided to find out seismic data monitoring and what it means. You know? I just got to read about seismic data. You know.
Very interesting stuff. It's amazing what's happening under our feet. And you would not believe this, but history tells us that Accra is the most dangerous place to live in Ghana.
That's why we should have maintained Cape Coast.
In terms of earthquakes.
That's why we should have maintained Cape Coast.
Well, I wouldn't have objected to that.
Yeah, me too.
My house in Cape Coast would have been worth millions by now.
I would have lived there.
Abra would have been like cantonments.
Yeah. And then some of the new areas like Third Region.
Yeah. Would have been.
Or even if I lived in Brewa and traveled to Cape Coast.
They would have been building a train track by now.
You know?
from Brewa to Cape Coast.
I got to call a friend who called and said he lives around just Bawe area there. He was in the kitchen heating something, I think for the morning on Sunday. Right. And the thing was shaking. I said, but I'm just, I do TV work. Am I a hospital? Am I NADMO? Yeah. Am I fire service? Call NADMO fire service. They'll come to your rescue. Why do you call me?
How heartless. He was worried for his life.
Yes,
and he was the first person he thought of.
Why? Why should they call you? And the newsroom.
Because, you know, he saw his life flash before his eyes and he thought, I need to.
So do you know what I asked him? I asked him, so if it was happening, who would I call? If it was happening in my area or my neighborhood, who would I call?
Call him.
But did you find out, you know, in Japan, they are used to it, they live with it. So it looks like they are engineers, the equivalent of the people we have from KNUST. They thought through the way they build their structures.
Yes.
Have we done same in Ghana?
You see, we don't even have to rely on the people we have at KNUST. Why don't we simply do what they did? Well, they've created the technology.
We should just copy. Like the way the Chinese did the West and now have improved
the problem. So why don't we just do what they did?
Even copying, we are not good at it.
No. First of all, I mean, we shouldn't even be allowing people to buy land for construction
in those areas.
on a fault.
On
a fault line. We shouldn't be doing that. Especially when there are alternatives.
But those are some of the most vulnerable lands.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Geological. Yeah, but I learned a lot, by the way. And one of the important things I never knew was that you can't predict an earthquake. There is no technology available to man for the prediction of an earthquake. So if you saw...
So you can monitor the tremors, but you don't know when the real quake will happen.
No. And so if you saw a message going around on WhatsApp, telling you that it's a cyclical thing and it's going to happen again between a certain time and a certain time. It's all fake. There's no need for you to panic or worry. You can't predict an earthquake. You can determine based on history how dangerous it might be to live in a particular place because it is prone to earthquakes. You can perhaps calculate the probability of another earthquake happening at a particular location, but you can never tell when. And by the way, in the 1930s, we had a 6.5 on the Richter scale earthquake.
What about the one that happened in the early 1900s?
Actually, that was in the early that's the one, 1930.
1930,
yeah. Okay. And before that, in the 1860, there was another one, 6.5. Okay, so about 70 years in between the two, which means we are overdue for another one. Okay, if you want to, we are overdue for another one. And the one in 1930.
Prophet Kojo.
Oh no, this is not prophecy. This is statistics. This is mathematics. I
was a prophet. All right.
Yes, so it's likely to happen again at any time, and we've got so many people, men, women, and children living.
Some of those prone areas.
You know, in which...
How do they call them, faults?
McCarthy, yes, a fault line.
Fault line.
Yes.
Right,
let's do the headlines. There are quite a number of them. I've got the Daily Graphic and the Finder. I might as well do the Statesman and the Today paper as well while I'm at it. So let's get started. Daily Graphic. And banner headline, danger earthquake looms in Accra. Geological survey warns. There's a picture of Dr. Daniel Boama. He's the acting director general at the Ghana Geological Survey Authority. And he basically says what, unfortunately, we also learned yesterday. National Policy Summit opens in Takrade. I think that happened yesterday. 1 killed, 3 injured in Bole chieftaincy dispute. And ADB and NIB merger has been cancelled. Oh, my word. What's going to happen now, I wonder?
ADB and NIB merger.
Now, on the back page of the Daily Graphic, Isuchare farmers express concern over alleged water contamination. My word, I'm concerned too. Police intercept large quantity of suspected cannabis in the Volta region, and there are some pictures here of top brass of the Volta Regional Police. Actually, no, this is DCOP Francis Doku with his newspaper in hand, briefing the press. Okay, that's the Daily Graphic done. Let's have a quick glance through the Finder newspaper. And this morning they report discord over RTI bill. Parliament leadership provides conflicting assurances. Coalition calls for resumption of consideration. So, you know, yesterday there were a couple of slightly varying suggestions. The first one being that, we're definitely going to get it passed this year, but if not, then in the first couple of weeks of next year. And that was according to the majority leader. But since then, we've also heard from the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osewusu, who kind of says, we're doing everything to make it happen, but it's not going to happen before next year. Flagstaff House has weighed in, Jubilee House has weighed in and said pretty much the same thing, that is going to happen next year. So there are some conflicting messages. More detail in the Finder. I don't remember whether cocoa tea fertilizer was tested. That's according to a witness, having some memory issues in court. Interior Ministry imposes curfew on Bole after deadly clash. Free SHS. Ex-President Akuffo laughs off the rich must pay argument. Interesting, and that of course was in a conversation with Daniel Daze on his birthday. Dr. Awal emphasizes microeconomic stability in Africa. Very important. And that is the front page of the Finder. I'll do the Statesman and the Today paper quickly. Statesman, banner headline, reinvest free SHS savings. Professor Yanka urges parents to plan for higher education. Hey, in which university? Do we even have spaces for them? Less face-to-face aids fight against corruption. That's Dr. Baumia saying something that we've known for quite a while. The curious case of John Mahama's politics is on the front page of the Daily Statesman. Also, Bole chieftaincy clashes leave 2 dead. Worrisome story. Okay, and finally, Today newspaper, banner headline, 2 killed in Bole chieftaincy clashes. PPP wades into RTI bill. Yeah, rather late wading. And GIIF denies signing deal with Jospong. And there we go.
All right, so let's do the Ghanaian Times. How we have on the front page, we will pass RTI bill. That's the Right to Information bill into law, 2019, the Vice President promising. We have aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management beseech company to demand deposits. Government imposes curfew on Bole, 2 killed, others injured, vehicles, houses touched. And we're just coming to the close of the year, it's normal. So the accident rate, 396. And this is coming from the Police MTTD, that's the Motor Traffic and Transport Department of the Ghana Police Service. It's a normal thing now these days. Yeah, the rates. It's okay. Now we go to the back page of the Ghanaian Times. It has there 60 chiefs brainstorm over traditional issues and greed destroying water bodies, vegetation. According to the minister, Miss Cecilia Dapa, Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources. I don't know. Who give the licenses to the Chinese and all that to do? It's the ministers, their department and agencies. But we have the Daily Guide newspaper. It has on the front page, NDC didn't pay my ex-gratia. And that story is attributed to Akuffo, of course. It's from that conversation.
I think that is known, isn't it?
Yeah,
we know that it was this recent government that came along and resolved some issue with those.
But at the time, we had the Ishmael Yamson committee, and they had made some conclusions. So at least by now it should have been paid.
Well, I'm hoping it has, because it's no longer, we're no longer under NDC, are we? So I'm hoping it has been paid.
The thing is that, you see, it's always a retaliation from there. After post-2000, Rawlings also had a problem, so it looks like the NDC also came in there also, and I'm sure the President Akuffo also will face it. You know, it's a problem when the NDC comes. President Akuffo will also face it. The one after President Akuffo will also face it from the hands of the MPP. So
I don't know why we are using things like ex gratia for petty, vengeance. I don't understand the value in it. I mean, who will congratulate you for it? Who comes away with a feel-good, factor after you have deprived someone who has served his nation in the capacity of president of what they are due by law? Who feels good doing that?
It is our stock in trade. But with new regions report out, if you don't have that report, contact me. I think we don't have it now. If you don't have it, I can send you a copy of mine, the email copy or the e-copy. So mine is still in my database, so I don't have to lose it. Nana commissions $40 million dollar Sunda diaper factory. It's part of the 1D1F.
But why? I mean, hasn't it been about a week since they commissioned that factory? Why are we hearing headlines about it every single day? How many times can one factory be commissioned?
No, this is the news reporting. It's not the action. The action took place from the last week, yes. You know, he was on tour of the Greater Accra region, so all the areas done.
So, I mean...
Are you saying that when the thing happened last week, can't be reported
in the news, I read about it.
Yeah.
Why am I hearing about it still on Tuesday?
Because it's news.
The following week?
It's news. One district, one factory.
British girls... What it is?
Yes. It's part of the One District, One Factory initiative.
So, okay.
4 British girls sexually assaulted.
We have enough districts. We should be hearing about commissioning every other day of different factories, not the same one being repeated.
The news as the activation, I believe.
Or maybe the Daily Guide didn't have space for it, so they've only now.
You and I should be politicians. Perhaps when one day we die being politicians, our wives will come and take over. Talking about wives taking over.
So is it true?
We have the Daily, there's an ongoing there because the supporters besieged the party's head office, so we know that happened. The Daily Dispatch newspaper is reporting, and it's only the Daily Dispatch newspaper, it's being reported widely. Who becomes MPP's candidate in Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election? Mrs. Nana Ejakun, or Lydia Al-Hassan, who is said to be the second wife of our good friend, may he so rest in peace, Emmanuel Chairman-Ting Ejakun. Very good man, very good man.
Great guy.
It's sad that after his demise, the seats he left vacant has become a subject of hereditary or transfer within the family.
No, is it true?
It is.
Because when I saw it, I found it so difficult to believe.
Okay.
But you're saying it's factual.
No, I understand.
Wow.
Or normal. Government releases report on OT region. Things are normal. You are still come to brace with issues in Africa.
No, this has never happened in Ghana. Well,
not a fight.
Two wives.
Yes, but the transfer of.
That we've seen. We've seen that happen in.
This one is only fight that has been introduced. It's normal. Let me do the custodian. But I see that you are still alien to our culture.
By the way,
why do they even call you Kojo? They should call you.
What? How about it?
Today, Gary. Cadwell Youngson from Scotland. Because that's how I've been. You are not. Get used to our culture.
You know, I wish they could hear. I wish they could have heard the suggestions that the crew was making in our ear of what they should call me.
Fred, say that again.
No.
The custodian. The Wellington. Because you are alien to our culture. You know this is how we are.
I'm not alien.
We bribe, we are corrupt.
I'm not alien to our culture.
The custodian has on the front page, planting for food and jobs chalk successes as Ghana export food to neighbors. Okay. ECG loses 1.15 billion.
You sound skeptical. Alien to our culture of exaggeration.
Which countries did we export to? We are buying from Niger.
We are buying tomatoes Niger. From Burkina Faso.
Tomatoes.
So what are we exporting?
Togo,
and to who?
Togo. I went to the market. Apparently we have tomatoes from Togo. I thought it was only Burkina Faso. It's a lie. Togo, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Ghana. Planting for food and jobs chalk successes as Ghana export food to neighbors. We have to congratulate the president for this good initiative. So far we're exporting to some neighboring countries, notably. I'm looking for the countries. The story has brought, my good friend has brought NDC here again. After 2 years, we are still bringing NDC. Awudu Mahama, good morning to you, my good friend. He's my friend. The countries, I'm looking for the countries. The countries
we are exporting to.
I haven't still found any. Okay. Okay. Ghana is currently exporting more food to Togo, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire, due to various innovative policies implemented by Akuffo.
That's nice. That's true. That's nice.
This one I know is true. Government publishes Broberry report on new regions, and National Chief Imam eulogizes Baumia. You know, it's a nice, beautiful car was donated to the Chief Imam. You know that?
Yes, I heard about that.
I'm told that you were at the ceremony.
I wasn't. But you know, it's interesting. I remember there was some criticism from the then NPP in opposition when the previous government gave a car to the Chief Imam.
No, I think the previous government gave some cruisers to chiefs.
Right, and they
I think the
included the Chief Imam.
Chiefs,
Is that it?
Yes. And
so
then
it wasn't something specific to...
Yeah, so there's an audio, and the spokesperson of the vice president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the vice president at the time, that will be the former information minister.
Mustafa Hamid.
Yeah, saying that the cost of those cars could have built one dam, one village, one dam. So, you know, the thing is that, you know, when you're in your office, sometimes you forget.
Or is it that sometimes you have a lot of cars and they have to be given out? So you know, you look around.
But
for
I'm
those
sure
who
that
are well.
I'm sure
And by the
I'm
way,
sure
look,
Dr. Baumia bought this with his own money. I'm sure.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's his personal donation.
Right. Okay.
And we have to say thank you, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and to all my friends, my Zongo chiefs and friends in Ashaiman Zongo, Zongo Laka, the night market areas. Good morning to you. Salam.
You know, the Chief Imam,
what's your pick?
Is someone who commands a great deal of respect in Ghanaian society. And I keep wondering whether we've taken enough opportunity to seek his help in some of the conflicts that come up in some parts of Ghana. And whether indeed he would be perhaps a positive influence in our striving for peace in some parts of the country. I'm sure he, in his own way, does what he can, but I wonder whether nationally there might be some advantage in getting him to perhaps officially oversee some of the talks, the peace talks and negotiations and so forth. I wonder whether that might be one of the possible ways forward
for us to make use of him.
Yeah, I mean, in a more sort of official way.
I think we can too.
I'm sure he does, something in his own way.
Right.
But I wonder
you
whether
mean in a national official capacity. I think so too. I think so too. You want to have any pick?
Do you know? Let me have a look through this one, because this thing about the RTI bill, should we simply accept that it's not a priority to government, and that the only way to make it a priority is if enough people get angry about it and basically coerce them to do the right thing? Because look, I have seen Parliament stay up till midnight to approve a loan. We've seen it.
But the loans will be used for constructing bridges or supplementing something.
And the right to information bill will not be used for anything.
We'll use it for a long time. The loans are immediate.
No, but they prioritize the loans because they consider them important. You know, they consider that influx of money to be important. And so they do whatever it takes to make it happen. You and I don't get up and get angry with government when a loan is delayed. I've not heard of anyone going on demonstration because a loan that we applied for hasn't hit our accounts. I've never seen that. But people go on demonstration for the right to information bill to be passed into law. So why is it not a priority to Parliament? What will it take? Because all this time, look, let's be real. We're not children here. There have been deliberate moves to delay it. Let's be real. Okay, I mean, Joe Osei admitted as much yesterday at the event where he spoke. I saw on the news this morning when he mentioned it, that he had to even circumvent their own standing orders just to keep the debate going. Because they were trying to play the quorum card. There's quorum in the morning, and then as soon as it's time for RTI bill, there's no quorum. You know, so look, let's be real, let's be clear.
If they prioritize, it will be the first thing on the other paper.
They would get it done.
The thing is...
They would get it done.
The thing is, I guess sometimes we need also to explain to the citizenry that the right to information law, just like in the jurisdictions that have passed it, is to give access to ordinary citizens, and it's not only for media to access information. So for example, if you live in my neighborhood at Jekwejo, or you live in Ashaiman, which is just my adjoining community, or you live in Lashibi, which is an adjoining community, or you live in Tema, which is just an adjoining community, and you find that a road which had been started the last election year, 2 or 3 years down the lane, hasn't been completed, then you as a citizen of the area, maybe you're a member of a landlords association.
You don't even have to be.
No, I'm even trying to. You're a member of a landlords association. You are even maybe the chairman of the landlords association, or maybe you're even a market woman, just in the Ashaiman market or Texpo market, etc. You can go and ask the appropriate authority to furnish you with information. Why is it that the road that I use or apply each day has not been completed since it was started 3 years prior? And then that will also inform you to make a decision the next time there's an election and they bring bulldozers to come and try and complete a road which they have started 4 years prior. Then you make a decision. The thing is, it is in the interest of the political elite to keep the citizens in abeyance, not to have the right sort of information to make the right sort of decisions. Just like it is in their interest all this while since independence that they haven't gotten over 90% of our population educated. Of course, we have, thanks to Nana Addo Akufo, we have now free SHS for people to benefit. Because when people are educated and have access, they make the right sort of decisions. They'll make the decision whether they want to access health well or not. They will make the decision to know why they have to go to this hospital or not, just because they have the right sort of information.
But you know,
it's just unfortunate.
One thing is clear. We need to be giving people more examples of ways in which the right to information
maybe they think that is for journalists. But
I mean, and you see, but I keep saying that even if that's what you think, even if you think that the right to information bill is only for the use of journalists, what do journalists do? We get information. Then what do we do with the information? Don't we give it to you? And what else would we do once we get knowledge? What will we do with it? So ultimately, even if you don't think you will ever walk into your local assembly and demand information, everything you will ever know will be given to you by journalists who have been able to access that information for you. You know, so ultimately, even if you will never go demanding information, it is through the right to information bill that we can hold your government accountable, whether you voted for them or not. You pay tax. So they must account to you for how they use it. I mean, imagine, you gave a great example. You work at Texpo Market, you sell, there's a gutter there that nobody ever cleans. Meanwhile, someone comes and collects market toll from you every single day. And they tell you there's not enough money to clean that gutter. That's what they are telling you. Well, guess what? Now you can check. You can go and ask them, since January, how much market toll have you collected from our market? So that the next time someone comes and tells you we can't afford to clean the gutter, you can tell them, my friend, until now, since the whole year, this is how much you've collected. What have you done with it? You see, so you can demand things. So your children's school, they say they will create a school park for your children to play football. They haven't done it. They say there's no money. There's no money. You can go and ask. Find out how much money they've generated throughout the year, so that when they come and tell you that they can't construct that school park, you can be informed. You will know whether they are lying or not. And guess what? In fact, they will probably not lie to you because they know you can check. So government will be a bit more truthful with the citizenry because they know you can check. Look, this thing will change the way we hold our government to account. So unless you don't want government to account to you, and if you don't, then I have to ask you why. But unless you don't want government to account to you, you must desire this RTI bill. It's for you. It's not for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
We have to go look at some of the stories online. But before we go, it's about, I want to comment on the story that seemed to have gotten traction before the close of the news day yesterday about the wife of the late friend that we have, Emmanuel Chamantin-Ejako, and the second.
So the two wives.
Okay, the two wives. Has children with all of them. And apparently, according to the news stories, we've had leaders of the MPP in that constituency, notably in at least 8, some notable electoral areas, 11 electoral areas. We have the Legon electoral area A, Legon electoral area 8, Mempasem, Jawulo, Okponglo, Airport, Christian Center, Abelenkpe, Tesano, Wetlands. We have East Legon, among others, petitioning the party. And in their petition, they say, no Ejako, no vote. And that it is with heavy heart, and I'm quoting them, that we, the concerned delegates of Ayawaso West Wagon, write to this petition. We're a group of over 500 delegates, and we are from all the electoral areas above. And that they would want the one who is the wife by ordinance to be the one who will be eligible to contest or should be allowed to succeed him to become the MP candidate for the MPP in the upcoming by-election. And I found this quite strange and sad. Because, you know, when I first saw the story, he's somebody that we're all close to because he comes to the studio very often.
All the time, yeah.
And he's a very nice gentleman. And for him to leave this earth and have all these bag and baggage all around him, I don't think is the best thing. But now the MPP needs to take a decision. They need to take a decision that's the interest of the party and also the electorate of the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency.
Let me ask you this. Do we have any evidence that these ladies are even interested in running for these positions?
Did you call the wife and the wife denied? Or
no, what I'm saying is...
you think that the delegates are forcing them too?
Is it outside the realm of possibility?
Well, it could be possible.
Yeah.
You may be right.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody is trying to throw in some...
Yeah, you know,
they're trying to marshal some support.
And they want somebody who they perhaps think they might be able to control.
Manipulate.
You know? Yeah. So look, perhaps these poor ladies are being...
sitting there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what we'll call it.
Being, you know, what's the word? Crowbarred into these positions when they are not particularly interested.
I get your point. I think it's something we can ponder. Right. But anyway, we have some online stories. Can you just quickly take
Right, let's see what we have. Akuffo fights sensationalized reportage on ex-Gracia comments, and that's also from that exclusive interview we had. Mahama, Akuffo and Rawlings all eligible to contest for president, according to Dr. Odro Osai. Oh, really? Really? Okay. I am in for grassroots because I am one of them. Nuruddin Idrisu says this, and I guess he still wishes to be flag bearer for the NDC. Ghanaian doctor, German, saved life of a Ghanaian on board KLM flight. Wow, a bit of drama there. And Hannah Tete gets new UN post, heads UN office at AU. But this is also old news, isn't it? Or has she been given yet another post? Perhaps that's the case. Congratulations to Hannah Tete. 42 miners rescued from slavery on Volta Lake. Thank God. Trust God, build well. Minister advises potential victims of earth tremors. Hey, Abba Simsuni. Trust God. That is our new national strategy against earthquakes. NDC race. Bahamas sponsors barred from primaries committee. That sounds about right. There we go.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. Okay, teen registration picking up over 2 million registered. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
Cool.
I don't know. We're registering for teen. We can't register for Ghana card. People to 2
Now,
million.
look, we need a certain piece of education. This tin. This tin. So, my understanding is that since I pay tax, in order to pay tax, you need a tin, right? I mean, you must pay in order because
Yes.
it is your tax
Yes.
identification
Yes.
number or taxpayer identification number. So, if you are a taxpayer, you must have it. And you and I have been paying tax for quite a while, so we have it.
Have you registered for it?
No, do you have to register for it? You
Yes.
only register for it if perhaps you are a private business and you want to start paying tax. But if you have been paying tax...
Now as individuals, that's why
it's not a new thing.
No, it's never been a new thing.
Yes. And we've been paying tax.
But it's not a very
so
old
we have
thing
it.
too.
So if you look on your payslip, you should see your taxpayer identification number.
Yeah, but then it means that it may have, as a result of you being formalized and paying taxes, then they generated it for you.
No, I think you had
because
it for a while.
I don't think from all the places I've worked before, it was generated for me. I by virtue of going to incorporate a company, got
well,
my tin.
two facts. The first fact is that the taxpayer identification number was not invented after the last budget was read. It existed before that.
No, I think it's been in existence.
The second fact is that you and I have been paying tax.
Yeah.
We are taxpayers.
Yeah.
So are we suggesting that GRA has not been able to identify us until now, and that until we walk into GRA and ask them to give us a taxpayer identification number, all the tax that we've been paying until now, they can't identify us?
Okay. If you say you've been paying taxes, what
income tax? You pay income tax.
But it's because you're in a structured or a formalized employment.
Yes.
Whether your own or any other. Yes.
Yes. So you should have a taxpayer identification number for the income tax you've been paying all these years.
Yes, but I think this whole drive in itself is also to capture people who have not been formalized.
I think we need to just make sure that we don't already have taxpayer identification numbers. Let's check our pay slips, because it's likely you already have one and you don't need to register for a new one. Unless you are setting up a company, a private company, then you will need a new one for your company. But as a taxpayer already, I think you need to check your payslip or speak to your HR
Okay, so you're
manager.
thinking we could have duplication.
I think we are already creating a lot of duplicate tins.
I haven't averted my mind to it.
So let's check. Let's double check that.
The thing too is that do they have means of verification at the point of registration?
That's
so
a
if
good
you
question.
can verify, then you will know that maybe I've paid already, or I've been registered.
I already have one. Yeah, but your payslip, I think, should be the first point of verification. Check your payslip or ask your HR manager whether you already have a taxpayer identification number, so you don't have to go and queue in the sun unnecessarily.
Well, so that'll be it for the review this morning. We'll bring to you some great discussions on EM Talk. We'll have in the studio Daniel Ochemabwajo, who is a member of parliament for Bantama. And then also we have Neelante van der Poel, a member of parliament for the Odo constituency. Many things we can discuss this morning. But in the meantime, we have to take a break. Benedict also is in with the latest sports headlines.